7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. The location of the fire exit doorways on either end of the hallway takes emergency. The AED machine hangs on the wall across from that door. Please turn off all cell phone and pagers. Will the clerk please take the roll call?
Rocky Ellsworth.
Here.
Norman Vaz.
Here.
Jonathan Vogler.
Here. That's
And
it.
Haight and Carol were on it.
Let's see, yeah. Give you a minute to look at the approval of the minutes for September 19th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 19th, 2022 minutes as presented. Second.
Motion made by Rocky Ellsworth, seconded by Jonathan Bolger. Clerk, please pull the vote.
Rocky Ellsworth.
Aye.
Norman Vaz.
Aye.
Jonathan Vogler.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move down to public hearing. Sherry, would you please show a proof of notices? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Michael Passat. Would you like to tell the board? I know it's a minor thing, but about you want to raise some votes, so you had to, you're one of those folks with a center line to the right of way. You've lost.
I guess, yeah. Is that what happened?
Well, the other part is from the center, but when you change to that's why you're right away.
Yeah, so, I was here last month, so when we discussed it, I thought somebody was gonna come to the house Saturday to look at the property. We came by. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we came, and it was raining at that time.
Yeah, it was a rough day.
Right.
But we could see a good view of everything and. Okay. Yeah, so, I'm a little shy of the 5 acres and I was contemplating having a few goats, as pets. Young daughters, I have kid parties quite a bit with their friends who come over, so that'd be fun and see if it was possible. So.
Sure. I think it's a great idea. Any questions from any board members? No. This point in time, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. Hearing and seeing no one, I declare this public hearing closed. Okay, board, this is, there's been many of these since they changed the rules.
Okay.
So it's really a minor thing, in my opinion.
We gotta go through the 5 criteria.
Yeah, I know. Number 1. Where an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood, where a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance.
Not in that location.
Number 2, where the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than an area variance.
The size of the lot, no?
Number 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial.
Very minor.
Number 4, whether proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. No. Number 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. That's usually yes.
From running the goats. The change in measurement wasn't his doings.
No, absolutely. I have no control over that. Okay.
I'll make a motion to grant the application of Michael, is it Bassett or Bassett? Bassett. Michael Bassett, of 697 Wilder Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-41B1, 2A3, a variance, an area variance to have 4 goats located on his property where 5 acres are required. This is the minimum variance to grant relief. We've went over the 5 criteria, and it's a type 2 seeker. Second.
Motion made by Rocky Alter, second by Jonathan Volker, to approve the area variance for Michael Bassett of 697 Water Road for variance needed for the keeping of 4 goats on less than 5 acres. Clerk, please call the roll.
Rocky Ellsworth.
Aye.
Norman Vaz.
Aye.
Jonathan Goldberg.
Aye.
Okay, you're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
You too.
Nathan, Amy Smith.
How you doing?
Would you like to tell the board what you would like to do?
I'd like to put an outbuilding 30 by 50 feet in our front yard. Backyard between the house and the street.
I know down there it's confusing.
I'm still confused.
You have it all staked out first.
The lake is the front.
The lake is the front, right?
And the road behind's the back.
Alright.
Okay, so that was all right, 30 by 50.
Yep.
Yeah, we were there. I see you had the stakes.
Yep. The stakes and then the doors. I think the doors were a couple other stakes. I'm not sure you guys are confused by that, but you got 2 overhead doors and then a man door.
Yeah, kind of. All right. Have you talked to any neighbors about it at all, or? Because I see no one here, so.
No one here.
My parents live next door to us. Newly built next to our house. Our one neighbor down the road has kind of an outbuilding like that in front of his house, the blue house, so we actually went down and explored his garage and got some different measurements and ideas from him.
Well, I don't know if when you construct the building, some of it will be taken down, but right now it's hidden. To the west, you have the road trees.
The road trees.
Out on the roadside, you've got partially road trees and.
Yep. Plan to take the large silver maple down before I put any type of construction started, because that tree's getting kind of rotted, so I gotta get that down and out of the way. So it'll open it up a little, but I'd like to, continue to have that little bit of privacy right around the whole.
Well, I think that'd be a plus for you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for any board members? If not, at this point in time, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. Since there's no comments, I see no one to close this public hearing. Is there any other questions, Tom, before we vote?
Did everybody get a copy of this from Lumber County Planning, new outlet? There's quite a few things on here that they commented on. Okay, I think I can nail that a while. Let's see if I have that stuff in here. Okay, I have this right here. This is for you, yes. Are we going down the planning board to put this building up, or no? You really don't need to. Okay. But we're following all the codes. Looks like they may be in a 100-year floodplain forever. I don't think they are in the 100-year floodplain. Okay. I'm just,
Yeah, then I'm in LWR, but they're in the LWRP, and that Janine was going down to look at that today.
it's like they're within 500 feet of an agricultural production, and then you have the data statement.
No.
Across the parkway.
I'm trying to think how close farmland is across the park. Well, there's farmland to the south, but how close is it there? I don't.
You've got the lot in front of you towards the parkway, then you have the parkway.
Yeah, right by front yard, it's probably, I'd give you 150 feet to Benedict Beach Road. And you got the road, and you got 2 lanes of parkway that are separated, and then a little bit of hedgerow, 500 feet. Probably, I'd guess we're more than 500 feet from that field, but.
Yeah, I'm just,
I have noticed that lately, when the comments come back, they're putting a whole bunch of stuff in there. Probably just for us to double check.
and it's in the coastal erosions, hazard road, but that's what the LWP's going on to look at, right?
I think I've only done that, and they're not in the coastal erosion hazard area. Their front yard is the other side yard.
Oh, that makes a difference. Portion of the federal wetlands. Application, you need to obtain a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers.
I don't know of any wetlands there.
It might be some across the street, but
There might be some across the street, which would be state park land. You don't own anything across the street.
I don't believe I do, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Just,
I will double check stuff tomorrow.
I don't even think, we used to plow it, we still plow it. And I don't think the park has anything down there anymore. It's all, parkway's all farmland.
It's across the parkway.
And I don't know of any wetlands there, that's beautiful ground.
Yeah, I know we looked all over it a few times, Ginny and I.
Yeah.
So I'll double check tomorrow just to make sure.
any motion we do, we can put it subject to all wet. The heating.
Subject to the confirmation of those items stated in the Department of Planning and Development's
Right.
findings. Yes.
I do know there's several buildings on there already on, not a little bit smaller, but still.
Yeah, the same type of location. Well, you mentioned one down the road there.
Yeah, that was, I think he built that in the 70s or something, so.
There's also one in 7008
Yeah,
on Dick Beach.
much smaller one,
Yeah.
yep.
So,
Are you ready for a motion?
I don't have criteria. I do have a motion.
5 criteria. Thank you.
Number one, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance.
Not in the location that it's gonna be.
I think you're right. So that would be a no. Two, whether benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than an area variance.
There's no way we can move it that it wouldn't need one.
Okay, that would be a no. Number three, whether requested area variance is substantial.
That lot isn't.
Pretty good sized lot, especially in your location. It's in the backyard. Which is confusing because if it was in the front yard, that would be a no-no. That would be a no-no. Number four, whether proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood district.
No, it's other ones there. Yeah, there's a couple other similar.
Right. Number 5, where the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance.
He wants the building, so.
I guess you could say it's self-created. Is there any other questions before we take the vote, or is anybody kind of any information you think you might want to know, or it's if not?
Jonathan's doing this one.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve a variance for Nathan and Amy Smith, 6984 Benedict Beach Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-21B 2A in order to construct an outbuilding in the SR zoning district where there's not specified accessory structure. We received no positive or negative feedback from the public. We've received all documentation. It's a type 2 seeker, and we're waiting for is pending any different information that comes from the Department of Planning and Development from Monroe County.
And we went over the 5 criteria.
Second. Motion made by Jonathan Wilbur, second by Rocky Elder, to approve area variance for Nathan and Amy Smith, 6984 Benedict Beach Road, for the construction of an outside outbuilding in the back of the home. Clerk, please poll the vote.
I have a question first.
Sure.
Do we need to do 2 variances? 'Cause
It's not in the front of their house, though. It's their backyard.
It's their backyard.
Remember?
Yep. I just want to make sure I did it last time. Okay. Rocky Ellsworth?
Aye.
Norman Vaz?
Aye.
Jonathan Vogel?
Aye.
Carried. I guess you're all
Talk
set.
tomorrow. You guys come tomorrow? Work for
Yeah,
you?
you can call, yeah, you can call.
Sounds good.
Home myself.
Okay.
And then if it does get approved, do we have is it like a 6 month that we have to start building? What was the rule that, so we're worried about winter coming?
When you have a variance, you do have to do something within 6 months, even though the permit is good for a year. Even if you start digging a hole or start progress on it, and show that, and you'd be fine.
Otherwise, we gotta repeat the process if we
No, you just get an extension
mention. Okay.
for an extra 6 months.
Alright.
Okay.
Just make sure you get a building permit from Cheryl.
We gotta get through a lot of planning, and we'll see, hopefully we don't discover any other variances needed, but we'll meet you again if we do.
Well, let's say you're getting closer.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Okay, we'll move on to Bradley and Martha Ryan, 48 Thunder Mills Road. You've got that awesome gazebo.
He's got a beautiful yard.
Yes, he
Good
does.
evening, I requested a variance for a third structure accessory building, whereas the zoning only allows for 2. My wife is not here because she's got some health issues, so that's why
That goes to the okay. Okay, yeah, you showed us the spot where it's at.
Yep. It's kind of secluded back there somewhat.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you, the neighbor that's most affected, he's leaving next week, him and his wife, to go down to Florida. They're snowbirds, so they won't be back till spring. So when there's no leaves on the trees, they don't even care because they're not there. They can't see it in Florida.
Have you been in that yard show?
I have been in that.
Isn't that something?
I'm telling you, it's huge.
Because I remember down in, pole barn was put about a year ago, and a generator was like 4 months ago by the road. So I drive by, yeah.
Kangaroos all over the place, it's so beautiful.
And steps,
It's a lot nicer in the late spring and early summer when the flowers are in bloom. Kind of weird looking right now.
still looks pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Any other questions before I open up for a public hearing? Okay, if not, at this point in time, open up a public hearing for Bradley Martha Ryan, 48 Kendall Mills Road. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. The room's awfully crowded, I don't know. At this point in time, seeing or hearing nobody, I declare this public hearing closed. Okay, before I read, anything else we'd like? This one's pretty simplistic, I think. Okay, number 1. What an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property will be created by the granting of an area variance. No. Number 2, will the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than an area variance? No.
No, if we're not in the third structure.
Number 3, whether requested area variance is substantial.
The way the yard, the neighborhood and everything is, no.
Number 4, whether proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. No. Not where it's located. Number 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance.
Yes.
That one's normally yes.
It's a confusing question.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve a variance for Bradley and Martha Ryan, 48 Kendall Mills Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-31A, which states 2 sheds or similar accessory structures are allowed in the RL zoning district. This is for a third structure, gazebo. We've gone through the 5 criteria. No comments made positive or negative against this. It's a type 2 seeker.
Second. Motion made by Jonathan Boger, seconded by Rock Ellsworth to approve the area variance for Bradley and Martha Ryan, 48 Kendall Mills Road, for the addition of a third structure on his property, a gazebo. Clerk, please call the vote.
Rocky Ellsworth?
Aye.
Norman Vaz?
Aye.
Jonathan Goldberg?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Ryan, you're good to go.
So then make sure you see Sheriff O'Brien.
When you get it complete, I'm gonna stop and take a peek at it.
You're welcome.
My wife would want it. I guarantee it.
At Christmas time, do you do some kind of lighting or something?
Not too much.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Normally we have village lighting around some of the plants in the back and stuff. So it's lit up a little bit for a few hours, but no.
A lot of time out there, don't they?
But that's not for Christmas, that's kind of all year.
I don't blame them one bit.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay, Sherry, you're on now.
Okay,
Boy, this is a tough one.
well, it's a generator request. And I think you have a copy of the take location map that shows it's a 13-foot setback from the town path. There's a path that leads to the back parks there. Right now, they've taken up the first layer of it, so it looks a little funny. There's a large drop off down to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so, the gentleman that we're having Isaacs put it in, and they're coming out tomorrow to possibly stake it out for us, where they're gonna put the generator, with the pad and everything like that.
Okay.
We went with them, we did get a quote from Generix, but, the, guarantee was not as good. And so, we're up in age. So, well, we're in our late 70s now, you know? Yeah, I know you guys are right with us. And so, because we lost our electricity so many times, and we were an all-electric house. We were able to, when they opened up the gas lines, switch over to some of our things to gas. But we still have electric dryer, electric stove, electric hot water tank. They're all just, when the electric goes out and everything shuts down. What I'm more worried about is we're going to Florida the end of November and stay till the end of March. And if the electric goes off, I'm gonna call one of the kids, we wouldn't know it unless, we would know it by our alarm system. About 2 weeks ago, we had an alarm go off at night, about 10 o'clock, for no reason at all, that we can't find. So that's why a lot of things where we have to make sure that, I hope we stop going to Florida pretty soon. Until we can stop playing golf, we're going. That's the word.
You won't do that. Unless he gets to the point he can't.
Yeah, that's the thing, and when he does, then, But anyway, it will be staked out for you, hopefully, and there's no windows or doors or openings on that side of the house. The funny thing is, when we built the house in 1975, the same setback was there. And for some reason, our garage was supposed to be on the bypass side. They decided to move the garage to the other side of the house. So this is all living space that's on it. So the only bedroom that will bother if these generators kick on and make noise, I don't know. My daughter complains about in Greece where somebody's near hers. It would be the main bedroom of us. We're on the side corner. I also will extend the fence up to the front foundation that you're allowed, because the fact is the bicycle path and graffiti that has taken place in our park. And I just don't want it vandalized, And we'll have a gate probably on that side for the people to come in and do anything if they have to do it. That's still something we're talking about, because we do have a gate in the back on the park side. I've never had anybody, try to enter the yard that we know of or something like that. But there is a lot of graffiti going on in the parks.
So, Cheryl, my question is that there's two different locations on here. On the map, it's going on the other side.
It's on the other side, yeah.
All right, so it's not next to the road.
No, next, we thought it was at first, and I had to call it.
It's next to the bike path.
That's it.
Sure, I know, there are two different spots on that application. I just wanted on the record the area and actually putting it.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. And you'll see that it's a 7.5 foot in the back, but 13 feet up in the front, and it'll be closer to the front. So it's just a matter of just a little bit, and I don't know what else to tell you. Hopefully they can start it. I know that the hearing is until the middle of November, and we're leaving on the 31st. I don't want to leave one of our children in charge of trying to make sure that it gets done. And if they run into a problem, I've been told that RG&E might require us to have a new gas meter put on. They don't know that it wasn't there when the house was built in 1975. I was trying to think of when we got the gas meter on. I'll have to call RG&E and find out when it went into service. But anyway, that might have to delay the construction because they have, you know, he says sometimes, and then that's about $200 some thing to change your meter out. So
Is your gas meter interior or exterior?
this is the problem. When they flip the house, our electric meter is on the front of the house, on the corner, and the gas meter is on the back corner, so they're all on the same side. I wanted to, in case somebody decided in our family to get an electric car, I inquired about how hard it would be, because we have a full basement on the other side, to put electric for a car, because of course it would have been great to have the driveway on the same side the electric meter was. But who was thinking in 1975? They just decided to take it away from the bike path without letting us know. We were shocked when we came out to do a rough inspection. By that time it was too late. And we were the third house on the block, so there was no way around. There was, you know, wide open. So I don't think anybody ever gave it a thought, because the bike path wasn't in there. Okay, we grassed over. Our house was a veteran's house, veteran run on it at that time, and you had to have your grass in. That was a requirement. So I had my stepfather come down from Oneonta, and we put grass in, and we went way out. And when they did the bike path, that was nice to watch all our nice grass get dug up. But it had to be done, and my stepfather sloped it the right way, so that worked out well. So maybe by the time they come for your inspection, he's coming tomorrow, 1 o'clock. So I'll find out if he's going to be able to stake out where the pad will go.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to see the setback from the structure and the bike path really close. And the fence is already existing, it's been up for a long time.
Well, I personally think 7.5 foot, that's a long way. I'm gonna look into that code, because that's not the requirement between a home and a generator, it doesn't have to be solid. That's our code.
Well, we thought of going solar, but unfortunately the weather around here is not that great in the winter. I would prefer to stay and watch the snow fly. We're Pennsylvanians, so we're used to snow, and that's the problem. So you gotta go with what otherwise we would have had a garage on that side, and the house would have been moved over towards the neighbor, which is just been redone, so I guess they're nice new neighbors. So I just had a chance to welcome to them when they keep their door out and let their dogs out, so yeah. I know, it's, typical line homes. Most of them all had variances granted, for the 7.5 feet. That's my understanding. I don't know. I tried to look up stuff years ago.
Well, pretty every house there, one that had no windows, no nothing on the one side of every house. Up there.
Yeah, most of them it's all front and back. And I think they did it because they knew the lots were small. I mean, we picked our lot out only because we didn't want to be close to the neighbor, and when you look at the map at that time, and I didn't know anything about maps or anything, it looked like a big distance was between us and the next house over.
To the house is built.
Yeah, to the house as well. I know. Well, the big surprise was when we came out to do one of our inspections, and it was flipped. The driveway, and I'm like, okay, this isn't right. What are you gonna do?
Okay, we can schedule a public hearing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's not a problem at all.
And you'll have a lot of houses. You were saying how many houses you had to do for the other ones that are more rural. Yeah, and the Ryan check, yeah.
I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing for Charles and Sherry Dobson, 19 Settlers Lane. for relief from Town Code 520, 15B, 2F2, for a 2.5-foot side setback. For sometime after 7 o'clock on Monday, November 21st, 2022.
Second.
Motion made by Rocky Ellsworth, second by Jonathan Bolger, to schedule a public hearing for Charles and Sherry Dobson, 19 Settlers Lane, for the application of a setback for a generator for November 21st after 7 o'clock. Clerk, please pull the vote.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Norm Haas,
Aye.
and Jonathan Vogel.
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you.
Now, have somebody here.
I will be here.
Oh, okay,
We're not leaving until the 31st of November.
I thought you said you were,
It will be all staked out.
I'll have it staked out.
right, I just have someone here at the public
Well, he
hearing.
said when he called me today to come tomorrow to give him a deposit check, he said we could stake it out approximately where it would be based on,
I was thinking if you were going to be here, make sure someone's representing you.
yeah. What I'm more worried about is the fact is if the meter has to be changed out, they come across that and during the process of installing it, I was told. I don't know, I'm gonna double check tomorrow. And the other thing is if there's any delay in the parts, you know what I mean?
Right, but that won't affect.
No, I said to him, I said, if you can't get it in by the end of November before we leave, I may ask you to wait till we come back in March.
Which is still within the.
Yeah, only because I don't want, I mean, I would have to have somebody sitting at the house the whole time that they were doing the installation, and he wasn't sure that it could be done in a day, especially if he runs into a meter problem. And, you know, the kids, you know, my youngest grandkids can't help, and then my oldest ones are in college, and, well, 2 of them, you know, so 22 and 18. And I don't know if I want them sitting at the house trying to make a decision. One just got a car. Okay, I'll be here for the hearing.
Thank you, Sherry. Have a good one.
Yes, and I'm gonna stay for the rest, just to hear what's going on. It's either that or I go home and struggle getting him a football game on.
She was her secretary for quite a few years.
Oh, really?
Are you going to tell us it's a lot different than when you were here?
No, I don't think it's any different.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, we have to.
No, we had tables, long tables, you didn't have the,
We didn't have all that.
no, you didn't have all this, yeah.
No.
But there were a lot of hearings and stuff like that, I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, anything from our legal department?
Nope, all is quiet.
Well, I don't think I'll be here November 21st, just so you know. My anniversary.
Well, we'll let Liz get it done. That's right.
I don't know, should I excuse it for you then?
I don't know. Sherry, anything from legal department? We got 2 Sherrys. Cheryl.
Sorry, both did the same job.
Yes.
Oh, no, everything's looking good, winding down for the winter quarter.
Yeah. Okay. Jennifer, last but not least,
How many years for your anniversary?
58.
Ooh,
It's amazing, congratulations.
yeah, I'm 57.
I think it is too.
I bet she does too.
Lois is more.
I mean that sincerely. I gotta give my wife a lot of credit.
I agree, 100%.
Sherry knows me pretty well.
So what do we have that's new? So we've been working on the budget for the 2023 budget. So the public hearing for that is scheduled for November 14th at 6 o'clock here. We don't have a zoning workshop meeting. It was supposed to be this Thursday, but we have to do interviews instead for the Board of Assessment review. Open position for the bar. We advertised for that. We advertised to add a person to the bar. So We're doing interviews that Thursday night, this Thursday night. What else can I tell you? New website for the town, check it out. The support board, Cheryl, you do like anything that needs to be done. I know all the department heads are working on their own. Oh, you're not doing anything?
Because none of us have access.
Oh, okay.
There are a few things that each department has asked to be changed,
Okay.
and they have been changed. But hopefully we'll all have access so we can put all our own stuff on, but it seems to be working okay. Look okay.
That's about it?
How many applicants did you have for bar?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if, I know you're on the bar, I don't know if Steve was inviting anyone from the board to come to the interviews. That's what we do with the support boards, you know, we invite you guys all.
I just don't know if I'm available or not, but, because a bunch of us encouraged one of the applicants with a real strong background, so. Would apply.
Thank you for that. Do you guys have anything for the town boards tonight?
Not really. Things come up, you never really know.
Well, you mentioned it before now, there's going to be a lot of generators going in.
Yeah, I know it, yeah.
And I don't know if in a lot of cases, should it be easier for Cheryl just to okay them or something, or?
If it's a simple thing, they get the same day. But if you're living along the lake shore,
Yeah.
there's a few challenges, but it just takes slightly a little bit longer. So they should plan ahead.
I guess it's not a problem unless you happen to have maybe we could put something in a code, a medical, like you're out of the hospital, but you're on oxygen, you have to have electricity. And if it takes you 30 days or 60 days to get it through, maybe we could put something in there that in case of emergency, I don't know, just something to think about.
That's a nice idea. We did have an issue.
We had one where
around West Watoma. That was very sad.
And the way things are going, my God, people are dying like flies.
You should come to the next zoning workshop and bring that up, and we'll see what everybody said.
Just something to think about.
The National Grid's about dependables.
Well, in my opinion, I think the electricity is definitely going to get worse, or get better.
Well, our track is all underground wiring.
You are underground.
Yes, we are, we have no light poles.
And you still have trouble.
Yep.
So the problem is what feeds your underground is still up in the air.
You go out, you have to go out to all the intersections of the larger roads, and that's where the light poles are. I don't know why it's like Florida. Why don't they put wiring underneath instead of all their poles falling down? You know what I mean? Their poles fall down just from the wind sometimes, so it's a complicated situation.
Remember, you live in New York.
This is true. Well, to tell you the truth though, we were in an all-electric house and we lost our electric a couple times. And we put a heat pump in and changed out, we tried everything. And we put a fireplace in. And then that was a wood burning one. Now we have a gas one. We change it over to gas. Oh, gas because you don't have all that problems with the wood. Yeah, so see, you have to adapt to the situations as they, they go along.
But Cheryl, not every generator has to, only someone who needs a variance has to come to the boards. Otherwise, can they just get a permit for a generator from you?
Yes, as long as they're not along the lake shore and in the coastal erosion hazard area. That's what we're talking about. They have to put planning into zoning, also for permits, because they're in that CHA area.
Yeah, but like Sherry's even here for 2 meetings, and she doesn't live on the lake shore.
Yeah, but that's a whole development that was created
Right,
in
that's what they're.
the 70s.
Wasn't your development, if I remember, called a PUD?
Yes, it was.
And the federal government came in, and they told Hamlin, this is being built, there's nothing you're gonna do about it, and your rules don't apply. And, it's passed now, but remember how many variances we used to grant up there,
Yeah.
Sherry?
Yeah.
I mean, every single month, we had 3, 4 from up there, because on those little lots, nothing could be done, and there were, families that buy the houses, and then they'd want, because they were like sold as low-cost starter homes. And then, as the family, lifestyle progressed, they'd want more, and they wouldn't be able to do a thing without variances. Man, we used to grant so many variances up there.
Yeah, because I'm in the second phase, and like I said, the third house on the lot, you know what I mean, there's actually a couple streets. So there's a lot of electric houses. When they opened it up to gas, it was up to somebody to go and put the gas line in, and that wasn't even an easy thing. So as you go back in the other developments, some of them are mostly gas.
But I remember when I first came on this board, you were guaranteed 3, 4 variances every month up there.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to put, you don't see very many sheds in the track unless they come in for a variance too, because swimming pools, everything, I mean, they want to junk as much as they can in their lots.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a pond, but that's about the only little thing with a couple goldfish in it. But, on both sides of me, the people had pools, and they needed to get variances for them because they wanted them in with a deck around them, and then, all the other stuff that comes. What are you gonna do?
It's a never-ending battle.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Barring no further business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
If anybody wants to visit, we're having dedicating Mary Smith's room at the historical building. Let's go historical. I want to say historical. And the History Center this coming Saturday. Families